All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard tonight. We are going to do a flight here around Australia. We are down in Wagga Wagga, just west and south of Sydney. We're going to take the H160 up for a spin. Got my girl Alice there with me. Got some friends came down to Junee, so we need to stop in, and they wanted to show me their hotel there in Junee, and we are going to then head into Bankstown, get them back up to Sydney for, yep. So let's get the bird fired up. We are in the amazing blue Hawaiian livery. Just this is the lay version of a November at 1-1 Quebec Yankee. Beautiful airfield here in Wagga Wagga. Yeah, this is freeware, flightsim.to. If I remember, I will put the link in the description. But yeah, without further ado, let's get in the aircraft, get it fired up, and head on over to Sydney. All right, so, I guess we can pull up the checklist for you. And we are solid. Battery 1, battery 2. Gen 1, or battery, I did that all backwards. Battery 1, battery 2, Gen 1, Gen 2, and emergency generator. So we should get the power up test. And while we are here, we will do the lamp test with the audio test. And seems like everything's going okay there. And up to our lamp test. Audio test. And those are good. Good to go there. And back up. And our altimeter is set, and we are good to go. Decision height, we will make our decision height 200 feet. I guess we could, no, I prefer to hand fly it. So lighting panel is good. We can go ahead and turn on our anti-collision lights to red. Position lights on. Emergency exit lights armed and signs on. We are set there. We can turn this one on, get this on, and then test to standby. Solid there. Floats, wipers, height, HTOS. And whether we are set MFD DMAP, we're not going to worry about that because we have, we're going to need to monitor those when we start the motors. RA1, RA2, FMS1, FMS2. And once we get the engine started, we should be solid. All right, good to go there. MFD, we are set. Overhead panel, aux pump, we're not going to worry about that. And on to page 2. Let's start everything we can. All right. Engine number 1 coming to idle. Alice, how you doing over there? Ready for a nice little flight? Been flying the heck out of the 145. Really enjoying that. And if you do not have it, get the Random and Everywhere Missions mod. It is... Doesn't matter where you are. You start out in a helicopter. Whether you're in just out in the middle of Iowa, it'll find you something, send you off to it, pick you up, and then run you back or keep you going for a little while. So, all right, sounds like we have engine number 1 started. Torque is kicking up a little bit. And that engine is at idle. Torque is stabilizing right around 40%. Good to go. And engine number 2 coming to idle. Turbine outlet temperature is going back down, stabilizing, idle. Let's see the torque balance. N1 climbing. Everything else appears to be normal. Engine oil, right side's coming up. Left side, we are solid. All right. And YSWG, so we'll go back in there. We will go flight plan, YSWG, YSBK, and we're solid. We can do what we want, run things on autopilot from here. We are going to just head north and a little bit east. Go over to Junee, see what we can see how that area looks. But onto our checklist. Overhead panel deep, no need for that. Floats, auto or as required, up to auto. And we're set. Pre-flight test. Pre-flight test is okay. Now we check our automatic flight control system. And we are back in automatic flight control. Good to go. All right. So now to the third page. Taxiing, we don't need to worry about it, but we can put our motors into flight. And now everything should balance. There we go. All right, VTOS set 45. We are good to go. And let's nose wheel. We're going to keep that locked for now. Begin taxi. We're not going to worry about it stopping before takeoff. Flight performance has been computed. Park brake has required. Upper modes as desired. Decision altitude, decision height has been set for 200 feet. And transponder and weather coming on. Altitude reporting set. All right, float. Message list has been cleared. Nothing here. We're solid. Takeoff clear area. We are clear area helipad, I guess you could call it. And we will get the aircraft in the air. Been flying, like I was saying, I've been flying the heck out of that H145. It's not quite as nice as this is in here, but it is very nice. We are flying the Blue Hawaiian helicopters, aircraft. Oh, look at that. Oh, nice. Little details like that. Changing it to the Blue Hawaiian paint scheme. Putting Blue Hawaiian down there. Still got the Hype keychain. So, alright, let's get the aircraft in the air. If you notice, we are at a bit of an angle, so... been a minute before I flew the big boy, so please be gentle with me. We are going to take off, turn around, and head off to the north. So we're currently, we are heading off to the north. So we're going to head off to the north and then to the east just slightly. And we can get going. And need to go find the road I need to follow over into Junie. I guess we could bring up the map here. If we head off straight north now, climb up to about 1,200 feet. And I guess we can boom up our speed to about 120. Oh, and we need to, sorry folks, I need to change something here. We are actually just doing this one. There we go. Sorry about all the extraneous stuff there on the stream. And there we go. All right, we are on our way. Going to stop by Junie. See what we can find up there. How about we fly along at 1,500 feet? We are cruising right along. Straight for Junie. It is coming up to summer down here in Australia. I'm curious to see what Junie has to offer. But it is coming up to summer down here. Last time I was in Junie, slept at the hotel, the commercial hotel right there across from the train station. A lot of fun, a lot of noise overnight as trains shunted back and forth. Kind of cool. It was May, so it was a little cooler. I think me and the group of friends that were there took all the space heaters. All right. Good girl, Alice. Got some happy friends there in the back. Enjoying a nice quick ride up to Sydney and Bankstown. We'll be parking at the Heliflight Center on the, I guess, north side of Bankstown Airport. And we'll see if there's any helipads available. So, once again, I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you like this type of thing, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. That way you get notified when I pop on and do a flight. And that reminds me, I'll bring up something so I can check. And we'll go ahead and pick this up. If you want to chat with me, we'll see what we can do. Yeah, we can go ahead and turn off decision height. So we quick stop getting notified of that. So and I believe off to the east east of Junie is an old ranch. Don't know if it's still owned by the former members of InXS, but it was owned by InXS when I flew down or took the train down to Junie back in the 90s. And once we get to Junie, we will fly around there, find out what's going on, and then we will head straight off into Bankstown, come in over East Sydney, probably Parramatta, and some of the other fun places down there. Currently have a bit of a crosswind. Looks like it's, what, about 15 knots from our left. Oh, kind of swishing around up here. See that wind? Now the wind's straight off our left side. If you flew with me last time we flew down, last time we flew the helicopter around Australia, we flew from Sydney down to Canberra, or the Australian Capital Territory, which is just due east of us when we took off from Wagga Wagga. Not too far away. Still a lot of fun flying around down here. Looks like we have our road right there. We're going to follow that road straight into Junie. And there's Junie right up there in the valley. So I'll come right a little bit. We're going to go ahead and bring our speed back some. Let's bring it down to about 80. Alright, there's the town of Junie. And we're going to make a right turn and follow the street straight down the main drag. Slow down to about 60 or so. Alright, so let's see what we can see here. About 20 knot crosswind. So you got the train station straight in front of us. That's kind of funny if you watch Yellowstone. Train station, railroad tracks, quite the little prison town here, I guess, back in the day. I can't remember a whole lot about Junie except for the Eels family. Mr. Eels used to live right up there on the hill. And then we came in, rode the train, stopped here at the train station. I think somebody needs to make a nice little Junie map. Great little town. A lot of fun. And I guess the hotel I stayed at would be right about here somewhere. Let's see, there's the diagonal. Once we get stopped and set up in our hover, spin around and so nice. I think it might have been a 4, maybe 6 hour train ride from Sydney here. Old train line, a lot of fun things. Yeah, so there's the train station, and then came out, went right across the street. Would have been that little building right there. Then you had the so then you had the bowling lawn up there. Yeah, kind of crazy. It's kind of fun seeing all these old things that you used to do. So, all right, we are going to go ahead and get moving. We're going to go ahead and turn right. I should have started going forward first. Indicated airspeed. We'll try and get some time rolling here. Above VY, let's get up to about 100 knots. There we go. Continue our climb up to about 1,600 feet. There is one special little mountain there, and what we'll do is go into our flight plan. We will select Bankstown. We will go direct, activate, couple. There we go. Just like that, we're on our way into Sydney, into Bankstown. Nice little cruise through rural Australia. Got Alice relaxing with me. Let's bump it up or else we'll be here all night. Not that I mind. I really am enjoying flying this H160. So we can back it out just a little bit. Looks like we are about an hour away from Sydney. Hour and 15 minutes, so. Flying along around through New South Wales. It is a lot of fun. Let's see if we can pull up some radio for you. Yeah, sorry, it was a little loud. So there's a station 2UE 9:54 a.m. in Sydney. Every time I tune into it, I feel like I'm in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the music they're playing. Awful good humor. Wow. Alright, 2UE it is. Keep it low in the background. Looks like we're going to have to gain some altitude here to get over the terrain. Let's see if we can... Man, it looks like it puts me right in it. Go up to 2,100 feet. How's it look? 22 maybe. Such a much more quiet experience in the H160 over the 145. Now, when we get into Bankstown, we may or may not. Let's go up to 2,400 feet, 2,300 feet. When we get into Bankstown, the helipads may or may not be modeled, and may or may not. Well, we'll try and land there. They'll be marked, but they may not have a solid surface there for us to land on, or what we're used to. But we'll give it a try. I've been working on the landings, getting a little better. I'm not going to say I'm great. Don't butcher my landings too bad. I'm going to do a great job on it myself. What do you think, Alice? Good girl. Sit. Yes. I think we're in that spot in New South Wales where, I mean, if you were going to live out here and live off the land, you would want a helicopter. Oh. not that you'd be able to afford it, or you would need it though. It would probably be something that if you were living out here, you always thought about, wow, why don't I just get a helicopter? They do have the Mosquito. I think Australia still has some of the Mosquito helicopters. They're just single. I think they got maybe like a 1 hour range. Well, I would have one. But that's the thing about this big old helicopter with all this technology. I am pretty much flying hands off, letting the helicopter do its work. So I can look around, enjoy the view, just monitor systems. But man, I can only imagine what like a Robinson or a Mosquito or even an old Bell Jet Ranger is like. Alright, done with Hype Radio. I don't know if you guys can even hear it, but goodness, that was more difficult than it needed to be. And let's see. Sound mixer. Ooh. There you go. So let's go out and take a look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, there you go. Bring the gear up. Maybe we'll be able to go a little faster, a little less wind resistance. Alright, we can go out and take a look at this helicopter. Let's go and look at the other side. Just a great paint job too. Blue Hawaiian liveries on flightsim.to. I tell you what, FlightSim.to, all their free stuff. I used to be A-okay with what I had, But once you get into the helicopter, you really start looking at all kinds of add-ons for the simulator. Mostly airports. Kind of tough right now because a lot of the airports, 3 years old, don't necessarily want to put something in that hasn't been updated for 3 years, especially with the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 coming out next year. But with all the updates, you just don't know for sure whether or not the airport will work. So, and FlightSim.to is a great resource. It's not the where-all be-all. It has a lot of stuff in it. It's great that it's becoming such a centralized area or space for flight sim add-ons and sceneries and liveries. But also don't forget, look around. If there's something you're interested in, there might be a developer out there that has what you're looking for, just not on FlightSim.to. Like November Zulu Alpha. They have a bunch of New Zealand airports and sceneries. They have a... crap, what's the name of it? They have a sound... yeah, they just have a regional pack that pretty high fidelity, has a bunch of waterfalls and active scenery in it rather than just kind of buffing up the colors and creating better just sort of visual continuity. Or so there are other developers out there that do not necessarily participate with FlightSim.to. So be aware of that. Look around. But yeah, once you get into the helicopter, you start flying this low, you start looking at some of the things that Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't do well. They do a lot of great things. Sometimes you can get into an area with some strange terrain. Cities look kind of like they've been melted when you get down to the street level, like you would with a helicopter doing a emergency medical service landing somewhere, a medical complex or something of that nature. So that's actually what we will do. Let's push the limits on this little fella. Like while we are flying down here, nice and low. Let's see about. Nah, it's not really that fun up high. You definitely get a feeling of speed down here. Up there, it'd just be moving along under us and. This is something that I have noticed in a lot of designers, is that GrabTech logo. So this GrabTech logo here, I'll have to look into it, see what it is. Let's see what we got going on. If you have something to say in chat, hit me up in chat. Oh, well, back to the other conversation about FlightSim.to and sceneries, and man, you can start adding a lot of gigabytes to your hard drive very easy with FlightSim.to, grabbing free things. A little bit of a headache sometimes because you have to go in and You don't want to add too many things all at once, because then if you hop into the sim, excuse me, and things break, if you have too many things that you added, you got to remember which ones to take out. So there you have it. Bit of a tailwind there. And if you look right there, it looks like we got about 25 knots left quartering tailwind, which I'm okay with right now. It's helping us cruise along. If you look at our ground speed, here's our ground speed, 153. Traffic. No one else out here flying. I was going to fly on VATSIM. There was nothing worth connecting VATSIM for down here. So rather than kind of be interrupted mid-flight in case one of them popped on, just stay off VATSIM. We're pretty much flying visual anyhow. So enjoy it while we can. Let's take a look at the train here closer. It says the train will be within 500 feet of us. Coming up, let's zoom in, see how far out. It's just about the range we're at right now, so does not appear too bad. That second little stretch right there might have me a little concerned. But beautiful day to be out here flying. Here in Colorado, it's been freaking cold and probably about 3 or 4 inches of snow. Alice, how you doing over there? Can't believe she sat still this whole time. She's usually wound a little tighter than that. Passing through Geelong. 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 Australia has the best names for things. Alright, let's bring her up to about 2,500 feet. See how that makes the train look. Not seeing an obstacle, happens every once in a while. Maybe a radio tower or something. Let's take her up to 3,000 feet. See what all that red does there. There you go. A lot of the red shrinking away. Yeah, I don't know that we'll come in over Parramatta. We'll be south of Parramatta. Looks like we are about 42 minutes away. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick pause. Let Alice guide you along. I'm going to take it up to 3,500 feet. So I will let Alice take over for a little while. I will be right back. are cruising along. I did notice a little bit of stuttering when we were flying there for a minute. Welcome back. We are just finishing up, coming over the Blue Mountains. Gonna descend down into Bankstown, Sydney, and surrounds. So just got this little ridge here. Let's take it up to 3,800 feet. See how we do with red. Last little sliver up there might just be close enough for us to tickle our belly. We'll take a look at it when we get there. Just one little sliver. Probably right down around 500 feet or so above it. Well, now it all shows up. What do you think, folks? We gonna be close? We are about 20 minutes away from a landing at Bankstown. Excuse me. Going over our last little hurdle here, then we can, once we get past the mountains, we'll see the Sydney cityscape in front of us. We can start descending out. And I think that is it as far as climbing goes for us today. Alice still chugging along, being a good girl. Got real Alice in here, taking a nice little nap as well. Again, Australia is just coming up there in their spring, coming up in summer. Something I do miss is New Year's Eve on Sydney Harbor. Just warm, nice, not like here where it's just freezing cold. Tell you what, we'll be sucking on fumes. Not too bad, but we will be very, very close. Oh, look at that little helipad. Wargamba. What do you think? We stop in and get some fuel? Nah, we can push on. 242, there we go, front 242. I am going to leave you guys looking straight ahead for a minute. I have to adjust something. Sorry about that, folks. Had to adjust the window, let some cool air in next to the PC. Seems to be running a little bit warm, and I did notice the other day that my Lian Li L Connect 3 was not synchronizing, so I'll have to go in and do some hardware troubleshooting. So looks like we are coming out over to the Sydney City Basin, so we can go ahead and start our descent. We'll just step down 1,000 feet every couple, or 100 feet every few minutes. And while we're thinking about it, we can go ahead and unlock our park brake. And if we go to Bankstown, let's see. Bankstown Airport's at an elevation of 34 feet. I think we can go down to 3,000 feet. That's further down to 2,000 feet. Bring it down to 1,500 feet. 18 out. Let's bring it down to 1,000 feet.
Caution, terrain.
Five minutes out. Now I think I know what my stuttering might have been by. Good girl, Alice. And we can go ahead and go back to our charts. And you will see on the north side here, right here is, I think that might be it. That is Heliflight. That's where we're going to try and land, so. Alright, anybody see the airport out there? We're about 3 minutes out. Bankstown Airport has a couple landing spots, so we will go for it. Just have to see them and go for them. Let's bring it down about 500 feet. Low fuel. There's the airport right in front of us. Start slowing her down, 100 knots. See Sydney off in the background there. We're going to go off to the left. A little bit of a tailwind, quartering right tailwind. Let's see. I don't know if those are modeled or not. We'll go ahead and give it a try. What do you think? Think they're modeled? Or do I take the one right here, the round one? Let's take the round one. Where'd he go? There it is. Alright. Told you it wasn't going to be pretty. And we have landed. Welcome to Bankstown. Appreciate everybody joining me. We can go ahead and let the engines cool off for a moment. And with that, we have landed in Bankstown. Sorry about the false thoughts going into the little helicopter base there behind us. Get out and take a look. That's heli flight right back there. I don't know if any of those would have worked, so I'm going to go ahead and hop in and we will taxi this little fella forward just a little bit. Park brake is off. Nose wheel is free. And there we go. Now we can let the motors cool off. Set the parking brake. And I would love to take this opportunity right now to let you know I appreciate you guys showing up watching the stream. I enjoyed having you along. Nice little flight. We are in eastern Sydney in Bankstown. Just flew in from Wagga Wagga. And a quick little sightseeing tour of Junee. So appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to go ahead and shut this aircraft down. And we will call that a flight. And there you have it, folks. Again, if you like this type of flying, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. That way you get advised when I am taking something out for a quick jaunt around town. So we will go ahead and get this aircraft fully secured. And once again, I thank you guys for flying along with me. Let the download in progress go. Download is complete. We are good. All right, folks. Thank you very much. Appreciate you joining me on that stream, and have a great night. Have a good weekend, and a happy Thanksgiving if you haven't done anything since then. So, all right. I appreciate you being here. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.